It's your body that the dogs will eat, and all the world will know there is a God in Israel.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tuesday morning, Eureka, Montana. Check out what I'm looking at here. I'm trying to flip this bad boy. Look at that. All that. It's about 7:30 in the morning, Mountain Time. Yeah. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, basically, I just wanted to talk a bit. I don't know, I'm by myself in the car, and I really don't have an opportunity to discuss what's on my mind and whatnot. So, but just a few minutes before I'm headed to the gas station, I just wanted to talk to you guys about what's going on in the stock market today. And with COVID-19 and everything that's happening, people think that the economy's about to crash. It isn't. It's not about to crash at all. Matter of fact, something very, what's the word? Manufactured is happening. And it's all going according to plan. They are switching the economy. They're switching the economy to... in a sense, the whole economic structure of our country is changing. That's basically what's happening. All right, and you know, I don't know. I don't know when it's going to happen. I just know it is going to happen. Cryptocurrencies are being integrated into the money system, the payment system. And in order to do that successfully, America really did have to shut down. But they can't tell people that because nobody's going to go for it. They're saying, no, I'm going to keep my business open, especially if someone used all their life savings and their earnings and everything, and they put all their life into a small business, like the guy that I'm working for, Chris. He has a small little brewery. He's the same. If he had it his way, he wouldn't have shut down. Period. I really firmly believe that. And who in their right mind would, to be honest? You put all that energy and you're going to lose money? No. They'd rather take the risk and take extra precautions, but not shut down. But America had to shut down, and they had to be given a good reason for it. Therefore, manufacture a scare to cause people to actually really be afraid, and then shut down, and then order it, of course. Use it as a pretense to shut down. My arm's getting all tired over here. I'm gonna to shut down and whatnot. Basically, oops. Yikes. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties there. This whole thing is a big scam-demic. That's what it is. It's an actual scam-demic. I just a few facts I want you to keep in mind. Number one, China hosted the 7th, I don't know if it's annual or just the 7th World Military Games. from October 19th, or I think it's 18th through the 27th. That's right. It ended on the 27th. The World Military Games. Where did those games take place? Well, before I say where they took place, I want you to remember that this was the first time they had done what's called a 3D live stage show. Something to that effect. The first ever 3D live show. They achieved this using the technology we now call 5G. 60 gigahertz of high frequency radiation to achieve this. What city did these games take place in? Wuhan, China. Okay? 4 days later, after the games ended, October 31st, actually October 30th, 3 days later, I believe it was the Washington Post or Washington Post or the New York Times, was one of those, reported China is about to go live. It was October 30, 2019. China is about to go live with 5G. The next day, in research, I found that the next day another article had been released by a different paper saying China has now officially gone live with 5G. October 31st. October 31st, okay? About a month later, the first cases of coronavirus were reported. So, you know, listen, at 60 gigahertz, come on. In 1918, when the Spanish flu hit, the quote-unquote Spanish flu, that thing hit, that was the same year that they first introduced the telecommunications network and introduced radio. People got sick. They'd never been around radiation before. They'd never been around any kind of that. I mean, this is the horse and buggy days. Electricity was barely being utilized. So they weren't used to it. Mankind is not used to this. You can't live so close to the sun. I'm sorry. Man, we weren't meant to do it. Case closed. But they got sick. 1940s, radar technology began to be employed for the U.S. military. 1960s, some more additional radar technology. In the 1940s, you had the influenza pandemic breakout. 1960s, you had, I believe it was called the, the Hong Kong flu or the China flu. There was a flu that broke out in the 60s in Asia somewhere. Somebody fact checking me. I just know. I'm waiting for a comment to say, nah, that's not right. Here's the link. Okay, great. Good for you. You got it right. Moving on though. 03, SARS pandemic. 3G was introduced that very same year. 2009, H1N1 released that very same year was 4G technology. Just more increased radioactive, high frequency energy. That was 2009. We've been using 4G this entire time. And, I mean, come on. We're used to it. When they introduced this, nobody was expecting it. Nobody saw it coming. And we all got screwed for it. And that's where the sickness is coming from. Guys, a virus is not a living being. A virus is a solvent created at the cellular level to remove dead skin cells from that cell. Or dead skin tissue from that cell. It happens at the cellular level. You can't catch a virus. It happens at the cellular level. It can't be transmitted because they're developed within each unique body organ. Now, you need to understand, for the last 101, 102 years, and I use that number since 1918, since knowing about the flu, but the last over a century, every medical textbook under the sun that has been printed is all going to say that a virus is a living antigen, it's a pathogen, it's spreadable, it's communicable, you can catch it, you can transmit it. It's not true. No more than you could transmit soap. Serious biz. But this whole thing was manufactured, like big time, you know. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. But I will say this. If you are looking at what's happening and you come to a place inside of you where you begin to understand that it is the big switch. I mean, there's a lot of things being achieved by this. It's not just switching out the financial aspect of the economy or anything like that. There's a lot. But what must be understood, though, is that if you truly see what's happening for what it is, then you can capitalize, you can cash in on, like, certain key assets. The fiat is going away. And you need, those of you that are getting the stimulus money, I suggest you start investing it right now. Cryptocurrencies, not Bitcoin. Is that clear? Not Bitcoin. Not Monero. Okay? Truly regulated yet decentralized cryptocurrencies. Okay? Government regulated ones. Ones that government will be directly using as per their currency. Now, anybody who's worked in the sector, in the workforce, knows that one of the best jobs to get is government job. Well, start cashing in on the government's moves financially. Okay, Bank of America became the bank treasury, the U.S. Treasury Bank, official bank. Okay, and not only that, but they own part of a cryptocurrency that I cash in on, XRP, Ripple. They own a part of Ripple, and they cash in on the coin. And I cash in on the coin, which is at a ridiculously low price right now. It's fluctuating between 19 and 20 cents right now a coin. Also, another coin, Stellar. It will be primarily used by small businesses or businesses in general, and by the general public. That's what they're meant for. They're meant for everyday use. They're not meant for. Not like Ripple. Ripple was designed for more payments, utilized for more payments to banks and payments to the government and that kind of thing, and the exchanges of government between the government and the banks. That would be all primarily Ripple. It will be the bridge asset for all the other currencies to utilize. It's the standard. XRP is the standard, and I'm trying to buy as much as I can with the stimulus money between that and actually paying my bills. Like, I've got a lot, that I'm responsible for right now. But as far as the stock market, I can tell you one thing. Companies aren't going to collapse. Companies are not going to disappear. They're not. What's going to happen with companies is that after the big switch happens, okay? Pass this guy here. What's going to happen is all those companies that are involved with the future directly, like I said, like Bank of America, they're involved directly with the cryptocurrency. So I bought a couple shares in them. I'm trying to buy as much as I can. Right now they're at $24. I got in on them at $22, so they went up a couple dollars. I'm looking at Verizon because they're setting up the 5G. Like, listen, Merck, Merck Pharmaceuticals, terrible company. Sorry, my voice is really terrible, by the way. I don't know why, but Merck Pharmaceuticals, they're a horrible company. They make the vaccines. But what's going on right now in the country, in the world? COVID-19. Bill Gates doing things with Merck. Right now, they're working on vaccine. I just listened to, on the Robinhood stock market trading app, I listened to it was a live question and Q&A between people asking Merck employees and whatnot, and they just said they're working on vaccine. I mean, in short, there was a lot said, and most of it was like Chinese to me, pardon the pun. But the gist of what I got was they are working on the vaccine. They're working on getting a vaccine, and I looked them up. I did a brief research in terms of, if their stock could go up, and I just saw an article from February, and this is like February in the 20s, I think. It was like close to the end of the month, where it said. Just this morning, I saw it. It said I think they signed like a $300 billion contract for to pump up a vaccine to create a vaccine. Basically, I'll see about getting the the link in there and trying to get a screenshot and just kind of basically showing you guys. But yeah, I mean, they're working on getting a vaccine. So, and their stock's at about $80. It's a lot, but if the potential to go up to about 200 is there, then you'll gain $120. $240, you'll gain 160. What I'm saying is I'm looking at Verizon. They'll be establishing 5G towers. All of the companies that are directly somehow related to the stuff that is happening, I'm going to buy stock in. Verizon's at 57. I see another potential of about 200. I mean, Amazon's at 24, but look at everything that they utilize. They utilize. They started out as books, and then they went to selling music, and then they came out with Kindle, and then they, they do Amazon Prime streaming, and they do Prime Pantry. It delivers at your door. I mean, it's insane. Amazon really has expanded. That's why the stock is so high. $2,000, $2,400. It was at $24.09 yesterday. But yeah, no, I mean, and Bank of America, like I said, the official Treasury bank. Come on, how can you lose? It's going up. It's going up. Even $2 to me. I've been looking at $22 a share for about a week now. All of a sudden, just at 24. I mean, come on. So, and my unemployment's going to be running out soon too. Because my boss has been sending emails. We're planning on getting back on like the 7th of May, hopefully. I don't know why I'm even speaking like this. Yikes. That was a bad move. Sorry, dude. Anyway, but yeah. So I'm looking at all this stuff. I'm looking at a lot of the banks that are involved with Ripple. Like, sorry for the, let me do this. That are, technical difficulties, my bad. This is kind of better. The banks that are involved with Ripple, like Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse right now, $8. $8. I mean, come on. Are they really going to stay at $8? I mean, come on. I may not know much about the stock market. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that when you introduce innovations, when you introduce innovative technologies, and it proves to be a success, and it's not a temporary installation, but more of a permanent fixture, your stock's going to go up. When you add more to the company, your stock is worth more. I mean, that's basic common sense. Excuse me for my cracker. So yeah, that's basically where I see it going. And it's good stuff, man. Boy, I'll tell you, it is good stuff. Absolute goodness. And I wish I'd gotten in on this earlier, and I'm really kicking myself. I guess this is my belief, is that this is God's way of saying this is your last chance, Josh. Okay, now I'm gonna go over here. The sun is low. Never mind. The sun is really blinding. I'm gonna go and actually do this. See what's up there. Check it out. But yeah, it's great, guys. And honestly, just check it out. Stellar right now, the Stellar coin, the Stellar Lumens coin, XLM, guys, 5 cents. Well, it might be at 6 right now, but it's been fluctuating between 5 and 6. Man, there's a lot of mist. I don't know. I'm not gonna blind you guys. I want to show you the mist that I'm seeing, but it's crazy. That sun's gonna kill you. Anyway, yeah. So invest in those companies that are going to be directly working with the technologies that are coming, and I already see the technologies that are coming. And because of all that, my mind, I'm starting to get really bullish. I'm very, very bullish. Not only in terms of, I'm very bullish for XRP. Very bullish for Stellar Lumens, crypto in general. It is getting incorporated. And guys, this is not gonna be as an option. Like, I want to use my fiat. They're gonna get rid of the fiat, and everything's gonna be digital. You won't know you'll be using crypto. Those of us that have been invested are gonna know. But people in the for the payments aren't gonna know. And that are just using the payment system, like to order stuff online, to make payments to their banks. All they're gonna realize is that within seconds of making their payment, it's already not only gonna come out of their account, but it's not even gonna be pending. It's gonna be posted, and the purchase will be complete. The purchase will be complete. The sun is blinding. Like that. Blinded by the light. So, that's how quick it'll be. Complete instant payments. Instant closure in terms of all transactions. You won't have to take 7 days to send your loved one $2,000 to help them out in a financial crunch. You won't. It'll be, oh, you need $2,000? Okay, boom, we'll send it. Oh, you got it? Okay, good. Posted and everything. Yeah, all good. Yeah. I mean, you have somebody in China you need to send money to from here? Yeah, go ahead. The Vatican, Rome, whatever. Send it. Instant payments. Period. It's going to be so good. So I want you to really invest in this. Please do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I see. I'm telling you all of the things that I'm reading. It's not much. It was kind of on the spot. I really didn't plan on doing a video. I just really wanted to go get a Red Bull. But you should know the directions that this country is going. By the way, it's not going to last forever. But what they do, what I understand is this. Now let me give the summation, see if that kind of works here. The summation of what it is I'm talking about. Okay? And that is this. There is a new world order coming. It's right around the corner. You've heard of Agenda 21, you've heard of Agenda 30. It's coming. But in order to truly ensnare people, they have to very briefly give them real substantial wealth. People have to experience really getting an average of thousands, like people investing and just really seeing real wealth. And even in general, people are going to realize and understand. How come people are going to really understand that the plans they have for us, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I figure here's my logic. If they're going to be forcing vaccines on us, if these companies are going to be doing this stuff to suppress us, and for those of you who believe in what the scripture says, that as tyrannical as the government seems, if they're not yet making you violate God's law, if they're not yet doing that, then you have to obey them. But for those of you that are obeying them but are feeling the crunch, capitalize on it. Say, you know what, if you're going to be doing this to us, I might as well make money off of your wrongdoing. For a brief time, see where it's going. Get in, buy what you got, or buy your crypto, buy your stocks, set them and forget them. But always know, that it is there, and always keep your eyes on what's happening in the world, geopolitically, and everything else, and spiritually. Stay in prayer, stay vigilant. Always question everything, but always compare it to the standard of Holy Scripture. Always. And what I see happening is perfectly lining up with what the Scripture says concerning the mark of the beast is. And the implementation of the mark, they're going to use technology to implement said mark. And this is the technology. It's 5G. They're going to be doing smart cities, and the only way to do a smart city is to do 5G. I mean, you need 5G to run a fully operational smart city. Minority Report. 1984. Go check out 1984. Go read the book. It's insane. The main character, Winston, every which way he turned around every corner, he ran into Big Brother was there. The picture of Big Brother, and behind that picture was a camera. That's where we're headed. And they require 5G for all that technology. So now they're turning it on. Now they're implementing it. So you need to understand, might as well make some money off of it. And it won't last long. It's a small window. But take advantage while you can. Take advantage. And the Lord tells us in Romans chapter 13 Owe no man anything but love. You know, love is the fulfilling of the law. We are not to be in debt to any man except the love we have for them manifested in the preaching of the gospel and the sharing of Christ. That's the only thing that we should be in debt to. We should never owe money to creditors. We should never owe money to people. We should never owe people. Never owe anybody anything but to love. Like, I owe you a service to share the love of Jesus with you. That's the only thing I owe you. Outside of that, I don't owe you a rake. I don't owe you a car. I don't owe you money. I don't owe you anything. And I don't want to owe you. Except to love and share the gospel. That way, anything that is given or received, it's freely given or received. So yeah, I just kind of want to share my thoughts on the matter. I feel as though it's like they say, trickle, 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 floodgates. And that's what's happening. We're seeing little bits, little bits, little bits. And it's going to start. I believe when the new fiscal year begins on July 1, when the new fiscal year begins, it's going to start. And it's going to be massive. Anyway, thanks for listening to me. Sorry it was so long. But God bless. And let me know in the comments if you guys already have invested some crypto or some stock. Remember, the economy is not crashing. It's changing. And companies aren't going away. They're remaining. And all those companies that are investing in the new system, their company is going to go up in value. Case closed. It's common sense. I'm trying to get in, buy small, sell large, or just buy small and hold until it begins to tank and then cash out. Anyway, peace out. I'm out. Thanks for listening. God bless.